Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of the Nest Podcast, episode 46, the Lee Smith episode. I'm your host, Brandon. With me, as always, is my co host, Zach. Zach, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Nothing, man. We were just waiting to come on, and I was sitting there staring at the little indicator on the top of my screen. And it's like, come on, motherfucker, go live already. Because for the people out there that don't know, Zach hits the go button most of the time. And we just sit there and wait until it finally clicks on because there's a delay in when we go live, and I guess people that are watching live see it.
Yeah, I would assume.
So it's weird, but whatever. Anyway, what's up, man? You've been on a little bit of a road trip lately, so
Yes, I have.
you exhausted from all that?
I need a good break.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
Anytime you go on a trip, you need a vacation.
Yep.
Away from work, at least,
Yeah.
to just stay at home and chill.
2 days in the car sucks ass.
Well, it was more than that because it was 2 days there and 2 days back.
Yeah, well, at least we got a nice break in between the two.
Yeah, but god damn. That's the worst thing about traveling is the road trip in between. I like to fly because of that and actually enjoy where I go.
Yeah, flying this time we're just out of the cards. It's ridiculously expensive.
No, yeah, dude, I understand that. But it is what it is. We've had a lot happen in the world of sports in the week that you were gone, though. So I hope you kept up with some stuff.
Yep.
The Toronto Raptors won the NBA championship. That was kind of surprising. They toppled the mighty Golden State Warriors. I don't know. It felt like their year, but it was also aided a little bit by some injuries.
I'd say a hell of a lot.
Like Kevin Durant played one game and got hurt again in that game. So the best player on planet Earth didn't really even play.
Yeah. Klay Thompson got injured.
He got injured. ACL, right?
Something like that.
I think it was his ACL that he tore. That sucks. Oh well. On to next year, on to the draft anyway. But free agencies in there too. Fuck, all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, Katie potentially won't be back.
Well, I heard that the Warriors are trying to work out a sign and trade deal. That way he gets kind of protected and gets his max $57 million, whatever, over a 5-year span. He gets an extra $57 million to sign with the Warriors and then to be immediately traded. So it takes care of him financially, I guess, for what he's done for the team. But that seems like a risk.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me, if he's not willing to play for my team, I don't care what happens to him.
Right. That's kind of what I feel too. And it's also, it's a risk because you sign this guy for all this X amount of dollars and he's about to go on a long recovery from his surgery and all that shit. So he's not going to probably play next year at all. And you're going to sign him. He's going to sit on the bench. And then he's going to have to come back a year after that. So you're already down a year of his contract. What if nobody wants to trade for him? What if nobody's like, well, I don't want to take the risk and then just sit there and let him sit on my bench for the next year and take the risk that he'll ever come back to being the player that he was.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what if he never fully recovers and he's just not the same? Yeah, I believe he tore his Achilles, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
It snapped like right up the back of his leg.
You could see it like a shockwave. It was crazy.
Oh,
so something like that might knock him out of just the way that he does things. His body will have to obviously heal, but then he'll have to essentially like retrain himself, how to do what he does, because something like that, injuries like that, knee injuries and stuff like that, those are serious and they can really change the way a player plays.
And the fans that were there in Toronto booed and not booed, but they cheered him being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they the new Philadelphia?
Who knows?
I mean, they're building up quite the track record. They snowballed Santa, pelted Santa Claus with snowballs whenever he was
When did they do that?
That was for one of their outdoor events. It was a hockey thing that they had an outdoor event, and Santa came for it, and they pelted him with fucking snowballs. Then Philadelphia is notorious for booing Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and pretty much anything else, but I'm sure Toronto's neck and neck with him in the hatred for Santa Claus. Now they're applauding injured players. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, that is shitty. And everyone thinks of Canada as being a nice place with full of nice people.
And I know I saw some things where people were posting that, like that's not Canada. Canada's not like that, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, they showed their asses that night for sure.
At least Toronto did, or Toronto Raptor fans.
Yeah.
If you want to make it even smaller of a group.
They did welcome Leonard to where the Blue Jays play. They welcomed him like a fucking king.
Yeah.
He sat right behind home plate. There was a cool little picture that one fan took and posted of Leonard filming Mike Trout's at bat.
That's cool.
So that was pretty sweet to see. Pretty cool that he's appreciating that. But the fans there love him. Where's he going to go? We mentioned free agency. There's another big time free agent in the NBA.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I haven't heard anything about what he wants or what he's said, if he's even said anything. I think if I were him, I would stick around. You have a fan base that you just won a championship for.
He's a king. He is a king in that city. Like, he was living in an apartment rent free because somebody was like, whenever they were doing the trade deals with San Antonio or whatever, this guy was like, hey, I have this multi-million-dollar penthouse. You can live there for free if you just come and play for the Raptors. That was like part of the deal that a fan offered him.
Jeez.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. Does his best player ever stock rise now?
Oh yeah, I think that helps. That helps his case. Anytime you add rings and things to your list of accomplishments, like MVPs and shit like that, those are the end things that I always refer to.
Right.
Anytime you add a rings and things to it, it helps that case.
And I think he definitely had this team on his back for sure. Whereas with San Antonio, he definitely had some all-star help.
Right. Well, and the legendary coach there too. So.
Yep.
And then we had the draft that happened last night. Whew. Crazy NBA right now. I'm excited for it. What this has done is it's sparked my interest in the NBA again. I was telling my wife last night, like, I think I'm going to watch more next season because I'm interested now.
You're interested in the new guys?
I'm interested. I'm interested in a lot of the new guys that I watched in college last year, but the Raptors beating the Warriors was a good thing in my opinion, because
I think so too.
It made me a fan. Like, I got sick of seeing the Warriors win every year. Much like I'm sure a lot of people hate seeing the Patriots win every year, but whatever. I don't mind that. So
yeah. I don't think that the Raptors would have won had Golden State been fully staffed.
And I mean, that's a legit argument that the Golden State fans have that I can't dispute. But that's why you play. That's why you play it out. That's why you play the game out, because it is what it is.
Yeah, if they were the greatest team ever or whatever, shouldn't they have a little bit more depth than 3 All-Stars?
Yeah, that was the thing, and we were talking about it at work. The Raptors had a lot of depth. Van Vliet played out of his ass all playoffs or all finals. The Warriors, they didn't have that production from KD. They didn't have Clay. They didn't have a lot. And that was obvious because they didn't have the backups that could come in and fill those shoes. So
yeah, and I think it's clear now that Steph Curry cannot hold a team on his own like other players can.
No. Yeah. Like he can't put a team on his back like, let's face it, LeBron James can.
Yep. I wasn't going to say it.
I'll say it. I'll give the man credit where it's due. He put some teams on his back and carried them to one championship, the Cavs championship, I would say. But and I mean, he's not going to have to do it in LA now.
Yeah.
Although they made a huge fucking blunder recently with the AD trade, they didn't leave enough cap space to cover everything. So now they can't really go out and acquire shit. So it's just going to be LeBron and KD unless they can work something out. The Lakers even tried to go back to the Pelicans and were like, hey, can we renegotiate a little bit so that we can free up some space? And that's essentially what the Pelicans said was fuck off, guys.
I think LeBron James needs to take a page from Tom Brady's book and not get paid whatever he gets paid, 200 million something, whatever insane number. That's what I would do if I were him. And I wanted to build my own legacy quotes that he's trying to do here in LA. I would just say, you know what? Pay me league minimum. I'm a fucking billionaire already with Nike and with all the shit he's involved in.
You know, and I think that's what's more important to LeBron is building his wealth and building his empire, because he's going to go on to other things after basketball. He's on that Michael Jordan track in life. He's going to own a team. He's going to own something. So he's acquiring all of his wealth. I think somebody like Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, I always fuck up his name. Kawhi Leonard. He should do something like that.
Yeah.
He is a fucking megastar now, but he's young. Well, not really young. He's been around for a while, but he's young enough that he's about to get a mega deal, and he could accept less and say, hey, bring some more pieces to Toronto.
Yep.
And let's build a super team here and win 2 or 3 more championships and shove it in everyone's face. They could build a super team in the East, which is something the NBA hasn't had in a long time. Boston was supposed to be that, but Kyrie's a fucking bum.
Is he moving on now?
Yeah, he's ghosted the Celtics. He says basically he doesn't want anything to do with them. Al Horford said, yeah, I'm opting out of my deal, so it's rebuild. But Grant Williams is on the way.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm super pumped to have Grant Williams join the Celtics. I went from cheering for him last year at Tennessee to cheering for him in green now. So,
yeah, he's a guy that strikes me as a player who needs a little bit of development to succeed in the NBA, as do, I'm sure, all of them, but him a little more so than some other guys.
It's his shot that he needs to develop. His inside play is pro ready.
Yeah, and he had a very big leadership role at Tennessee, and I think that will do him well in the NBA.
Yeah, for sure. And he's gotten bigger in the off season. So he looks a lot bigger now. Just in a suit, you could tell that he's filled out even more so than when he was playing.
Right.
So he's been in the weight room. But he's going to Boston. Of course, Zion's going to New Orleans. That's not a shock to anybody, though. We've all known that for months.
Yeah, if not years.
Well, I mean, we only found out that New Orleans was getting the number 1 pick like last month. So
yeah, that's true. They're always
we haven't known for too long.
They're always the shit team though, so they get like the most chance or whatever.
They're not going to be a shit team much longer.
Yeah, maybe.
No, they're going to be good. They're going to be really good.
To be honest.
No, they're going to be really good, Zach.
Okay, well, they had Anthony Davis.
Yeah, but he's a bum too.
Good enough to get some mega deal at LA, or for them to at least offer the Pelicans everything but the kitchen sink.
Look, he isn't capable of leading and carrying a team. Zion will be. Zion's capable. Zion is like a generational star. He's this era's LeBron.
This coming from the guy who thought he was overhyped during the college March Madness, I guess.
I mean, he lived up to it, though. Every game he played in, he lived up to it. You can't deny it. I mean, he played his ass off. I thought that he would fail. They lost, but not because of him.
Yeah.
He's a fucking stud.
I still need to see the proof in the NBA. I'm not all in just
You
yet.
know, and that's fine. That's fine. I wasn't all in on LeBron when he was coming out of high school straight to the NBA, but
He did all right.
yeah, he did all right for himself. So I mean, and you know, it still may be true. Like Zion may be he was a freak in college and sucks in the pros. It's happened. Look at Tim Tebow. He was fucking amazing in college, not very good in the NFL. I'm not going to say he sucked in the NFL because he won a playoff game way before Romo did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air as it normally is with a young player. I mean, he's got everything that he could possibly need to succeed. It's just whether or not he will. I don't know how he's gonna do against stiff competition. Like,
I think he'll succeed. I think he'll be fantastic. And I think the surrounding cast that the Pelicans have around him, I think that'll be a good team, a good young team that will grow together. And if they can develop a core or a nucleus, they'll thrive off of each other. And Zion's proven to be a really good teammate at Duke.
yeah,
So
yeah, that is one thing that is interesting about a phenom like him is he seems pretty grounded.
he's very humble. Like he cried after being selected in the first overall, blah blah blah, all that hype. He was crying because he was thanking his mom. Like it's pretty humble kid. You can't be mad at him for
No, yeah, definitely not.
you know.
I just don't like jumping on the this kid is the next thing before he's fucking what 19
Yeah, probably.
before he ever does anything
He
substantial.
was a freshman in college, so yeah. Yeah, but next season we'll tune in and he'll be tearing rims off. He's gonna fucking he's gonna be crazy.
Hopefully Nike can build him a shoe strong enough to hold those feet in place.
Right. That seems like the only thing that can stop Zion is Zion or a shoe. The Nest podcast is brought to you by Wolfpack Razin Brakes. Wolfpack has a special offer just for you. Wolfpack is our go-to spot for online auctions for authentic and specialty hand-signed jerseys and helmets. It's veteran-owned and operated, and they say it'll only take one bid and you could win great prizes. But wait, Nest listeners, if you act now and use Nest 5, you'll get an instant $5 credit on your first bid. So get out there and run with the pack. I've had something building up inside of me for a couple days now.
Are you turning into a wolf? Is that why you just
Yes, it is. It's a full moon, and no, fucking, I'm actually legit upset about something going on in baseball, and it's been building up in me for a couple days. I even text you about it, and I was like, "Dude, I'm pissed," and you're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "You'll see." And it has to deal with the All-Star voting. I initially felt like I was being a little bit biased because I was like, man, it sucks that Xander's not the number one ranked shortstop right now because I think he's had a pretty good season by most standards. I could understand him being maybe number 2. That would be okay too, but he's not even near the top. Xander Bogaerts is 6th in All-Star voting. That comes as quite a shock to me. So I sat down and I looked at all the numbers like I'm prone to do. And he is not the 6th. He's probably 1st or 2nd. And Xander's getting snubbed. And it's bullshit.
All because of the voting. People just get to vote on their own accord instead of it being based off of numbers.
Right. I mean, people look at the list and they vote based off of what they see as a star.
or who they like.
For example, Carlos Correa. He's second on the list. Okay, he's second in All-Star voting, which means he'll make the All-Star team. He'll be on the roster. He's been injured almost half the season. He has like 80 or 90 less at bats than all of the other shortstops that are in contention. How can you take somebody that hasn't been there and say that they've been an all-star? Doesn't make sense. Not to mention all of his stats are lower. He only has 35 RBIs to Xander's 49. The only guy that I see that's actually ranked appropriately is Twins Polanco. He's the only one that should be above Xander and is the only one that is above Xander in the stats of WAR and hits. Xander's second in hits. He's second in homers. He's second in WAR. He's first in RBIs. How the fuck is he sixth?
Because the internet strikes again.
Sixth. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
This is
bullshit.
what happens when you let people vote for something. They vote for either their favorite player, no matter what, or people that they know.
How can you not know Xander? Xander Bogaerts, this guy right here.
Apparently people don't know.
Right? Fucking two-time World Series champion.
Probably because if you're not a Boston fan or an American League fan, he probably gets overshadowed by Mookie, JD, Chris Sale, the people that players know from Boston.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're right. Harvey said the same thing. We were talking about it earlier. He said essentially the same thing, that he doesn't get the shine because of everybody else. He's the other brother, basically. And it sucks, but Xander is phenomenal, and he's getting snubbed. And what makes matters worse is because the Red Sox were in the World Series last year, Alex Cora will be the manager for the American League. Just like Dave Roberts will be the manager for the National League because he's the Dodgers head manager. So Alex Cora gets to select a certain number of players to fill in the rest of the roster. Odds are he's going to pick Bogaerts, who's going to, finish sixth in voting, sixth or fifth or whatever, somewhere down at the bottom. He was sixth when I checked the numbers today, but whatevs. He'll still get picked by Cora, and everybody's going to be like, "Oh, well, they only picked him because it was his boy."
Mm-hmm.
When he has the numbers to be an all-star.
Yeah. This is a fuck up on MLB's part.
Sixth. Fuck, man. God damn, that pisses me off.
You think they're going to bring this back next year?
I don't like this format at all. I think it's pretty booty.
I think they are going to bring it back.
I think they are too. I think they like it.
Mm-hmm. They don't. I think they have a huge problem, MLB, in that young kids aren't watching this sport because they watch football or they play video games or they watch something else. Just baseball is just not entertaining to a young person when they can have an iPad and YouTube and all the other bullshit that they can do. Whereas for you and I and people older than us, sports was like the one thing that was an entertaining, a source of entertainment at times. Of course, we had video games and shit too, but it's not like today. It's a little bit more simple. But the point I'm getting at is MLB has a huge problem in trying to keep an entertainment thing going here because they're losing fans. They don't have a fan base like they should as a major league sport. And I think this is just one of their ideas. Like, hey, let's give people the chance to vote. And this is what happens. People don't know Bogaerts, so they vote for whoever the fuck they know or whoever their favorite player is if they happen to have a team. And I think had Bogarts been first or second on the selection, people would have known him. Like when he would have made his way onto the field and started fucking crushing the ball, and people watched the All-Star game, they would have been like, "Oh shit, that guy's good." But now he probably might not play, or he probably might play a little bit, and people will still not know him. So I understand your frustration.
6th. Bullshit. Big Papi, I guess, has been upgraded to good condition now, and turns out the news now, we'll see if we're buying it or not, is saying that Ortiz was not the intended target of the shooting in the first place, that it was some other guy that happened to be there with Ortiz. And the confusion was over the pants that they were wearing, and that's why the shooter shot Ortiz.
So the only detail he was given is, all right, he's wearing gray pants. Just go for the guy in gray pants.
I mean, I guess they saw a picture and they said, yeah, that guy in the white pants or gray pants or whatever. But he got the wrong one, or I don't know. I don't know what that whole story is about. I think that's kind of fucking far-fetched to begin with. But, and they're also like, well, the shooter was saying that he loved David Ortiz and didn't want to hurt him, that they weren't trying to hurt him. Like right off the bat, that was one of their pleas or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the driver that said that, but whatever. Anyway, but I don't know, man.
I don't believe that for a fucking second.
Everybody in fucking the Dominican Republic knows who David Ortiz is. He's a fucking god walking down the street. You're not going to know that that's him whenever you're shooting. Oh, I'm sorry. This 260-pound man looks like this other fucking, 180-pound guy that I was actually trying to kill. No. If you see a dude that's 260 pounds and is jacked, he
looks like David Ortiz.
He stands up. Yeah, David Ortiz has those fucking big gold chains. He's like a buff Rick Ross walking around.
Yeah.
You notice him.
Yeah, you're not getting that by me.
That's
for fucking sure.
I smell so much bullshit in this story. I don't know. I don't buy it, but I guess we'll see. The good thing is that Ortiz is okay, and that he's been upgraded to good health or good condition or whatever.
Is he still in Boston?
Yeah.
He should probably stay there.
Yeah, I agree. For the foreseeable future.
Yeah, maybe for the rest of his life.
Maybe.
Have you seen all the other shit that's going on in the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, a place to go if you want a killer vacation, apparently.
It's fucking weird. Like, are they targeting certain people, or is it just random crime events that just so happen to have Americans as the victim, or is there something else going on?
Well, I think they're saying that it all ties back to a couple resorts. Maybe their ice is contaminated. Maybe it's some kind of bacteria in the hotels. But I don't know. I don't think it's crime related. I think it's just some kind of weird like health phenomenon.
And
but it is
for what, 3 people to die?
Well, it's strange that it's only Americans that seem to be dying.
Yeah,
I think it's up to like 9.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye. It's like Americans, huh? So no one else wants to go to the Dominican Republic,
right? Which, I mean, maybe they're just not reporting that. Maybe they're only reporting the Americans. Maybe Europeans are dying too. We're just not seeing that in the news.
Yeah, could be.
But you would think that this would, at that point, be like a worldwide epidemic. But
not a good place to be at this moment.
No, not at all. Not a place that you want to take your family. But people are still going because they've already paid for their trips.
Yep.
I've already paid for my cruise in October, so I've got to go.
Well, just be careful. We won't get any ice.
Yeah.
Sure.
We won't drink the water. We won't eat the food. It's okay.
Yeah.
Good luck. Where do you think the boat that you're on gets its food and water and stuff like that while you're out to sea? It has to restock somewhere, right? Oh no. Oh fuck.
You better bring your fishing pole with you.
Yeah, no shit.
Cast off the side of the boat.
My dad would love that shit. He's like, this is just like back home. Fucking speaking of back home, Red Sox back home tonight against the Blue Jays. I'm excited that we're doing our podcast so early in the afternoon today because I'll actually get to watch it and not be interrupted with trying to podcast and not give the game my full undivided attention.
Right.
You distract me from the baseball.
Yeah, I apologize for that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. But it is cool that we're doing it so early because this is the first episode that's ever been naturally lit in my room. And I bet my
You're
camera,
glowing.
my camera quality is about the same as it is when I have all the lights on in my room.
You are glowing.
I'm glowing. I'm radiant. So if you're just a regular podcast listener, you're missing out on all of this.
Yep.
All of this stuff that's strictly visual.
I'm kind of pissed that the Cardinals are playing later tonight because this is Albert Pujols' return, and I'll be gone.
That's why it's at night.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense, but it just sucks for me because I'll be gone.
Yeah, you stay on the go, dude.
I know. Apparently,
must be nice to not have kids sometimes, huh?
Boy, let me tell you.
Get up and go wherever you want, whenever you want. It's a good life. But I wouldn't trade the kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a house full of girls this weekend because it's my stepdaughter's birthday party and we are hosting a slumber party of sorts that's going to be some kind of little fairyland in her room or whatever. So I'll just be in here watching baseball.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I'll lock myself in the man cave and watch baseball for a while. Ugh, it's going to be scary. It's going to be a scary sight. There's going to be glitter and nail polish and all kinds of girl stuff. So,
the baseball will keep you safe.
Yep. I'll keep my ball and bat close at hand in case they try to come at me. I'll just start swinging on them. Do you have any updates on the Cards other than it being Pujols' return? That's kind of a big deal for St. Louis.
Yeah, I think it's a huge deal. I would assume that they're going to give him a standing O and just show him the utmost, respect and everything.
Well, I think enough time has passed that those wounds have been closed, and winning the Blues winning the Stanley Cup probably helps.
Oh yeah,
everybody's in a little better spirits.
They're on cloud 9, man.
Oh, I bet. I bet you're right. I bet they tip their caps and give due respect to Albert.
And seeing now that he hasn't hardly produced for Anaheim, imagine having to be tied up with some giant contract to Albert and him not being able to produce for us. That I think would piss them off more than him leaving has.
And you wouldn't have Goldie.
Yeah, I wouldn't have Goldie, wouldn't have jack shit.
Yeah, because you would be under that weight like the Angels are. I mean, the Angels are in a good position now because they're about to get rid of him.
Right.
And they've got young talent. They've got Mike Trout that just signed up for life. They might be in a good spot. Maybe they can make some magic work come free agency this time around. That would be best case scenario for them.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens when that all happens.
Yeah.
I think and off season will be right here before we know it, and then we'll be talking baseball free agency. Ugh.
I hope he retires. He needs to go out before he gets just too ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how many years he has left on his contract or if he's contemplating retiring early or whatever. But you're right. He needs to go ahead and hang it up. I think he's accomplished all the major milestones that he's going to accomplish in his career. I don't think he's close enough to any to where he's still chasing.
Yeah.
He got that big RBI milestone.
Yeah. 2000, right?
Yeah. and I think that was the last one that he was really chasing.
Yep. I agree.
Call it quits, bud.
Yep. You went back to St. Louis and you said goodbye to all of your fans there.
Right.
You're done.
I think that's the perfect way to hang him up. And Ichiro just retired. He got to play his final MLB games in Japan at the beginning of the season. As the Mariners signed him back for a 2-game deal. So he got to play his last 2 major league games in his home country, which I thought was pretty cool. He didn't get any hits or anything, but at least he got to play.
Yeah, and I'm sure people there loved seeing him.
Oh yeah, they went ape shit. It was cool. I wish I would have gotten to see it, but I didn't watch it, and it wasn't available at the time.
Right.
Oh well, it is what it is. Let's see. Some bad umpire calls this week around the league. One involved our boy Manny Machado.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I tagged you in a post in Sportzilla about it. I guess the umpire, the in Manny's defense, I will say that the umpire made a bad call. Anytime I read an article where I'm bashing a guy or whatever, I go and see, was he right or wrong and stuff like that. He was right, but he did cross the line. It was a ball. It was outside by a good 3 inches, probably from the strike zone. And yeah, it was quickly called a strike too. He jumped up and punched him out, but Manny overreacted. He took off his helmet and flung it at the backstop. He took his bat and threw it. He was pretty pissed. He got ejected. Let's see. I wrote down some of the quotes. He kept yelling to the ump that this is fucking bullshit, and you're fucking bullshit, and your call is fucking bullshit, and everything is fucking bullshit, all the way down to the tunnel. Everything was. He was pissed.
I think I remember him on the steps yelling at the ump, "You fucking suck."
Yeah, that sounds about right. MLB officials kind of blasted him on Twitter, which created some more controversy. Some of the players are on board with Manny being like, "Hey, you shouldn't be talking shit. You're umpires." So that kind of gets a little bit pushy. They're making the case for the electronic umps,
which sucks.
They've had
better at their fucking jobs.
You think it's because they just keep guys around too long? They don't bring around the new eyes?
I don't know. I really don't know what it is. Because I can understand if it's like a close call. But if you can clearly see that it's like a 3-inch difference between a ball and a strike, then there should be no fucking question. I think that's why players get angry. It's because it's like, are you kidding me? That was not a hard call to make.
I think it might be easier to call balls and strikes watching it on TV.
Yeah, it probably definitely is.
Because you see it from the front view. So you can see and you're further away. Umps are right on top of it. So I can see how it might be like real fast or too fast zipping by, but on TV you can kind of see it a little better, even without the square on the strike zone to kind of tell you where it is. Like you can tell if it's a strike or not pretty easily watching on TV if you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And all these umps are supposed to. So why can't an ump watch it on like an iPad screen off to the side? That would prevent them from getting hit in the face all the time, hitting the shoulder by foul tips. And, sometimes these guys get concussions.
Oh, yeah.
They get hit in the head with a ball and they get concussed by it. Let them watch on an iPad off to the side, and then they'll call their balls and strikes from over there, watching it on an iPad screen. Maybe it would be more accurate that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that. I love the human element.
At least that still gives it the human element, even though it's combining with technology.
Right. Yeah. I do not want to see the umpire get replaced by some sort of electronic strike and ball counter or whatever it would be.
Yeah,
That's just lame, I think.
I don't like either. I know a lot of people are firm advocates for it though, and I guess that's fine. Everybody has shitty opinions, but it is what it is. But fuck, I like the human element. I like having an umpire that will call balls and strikes. If they sit behind an iPad, it's going to still take away from the game because you're not going to get the animated umps that jump up and punch out a strikeout or whatever because they're going to be sitting in a fucking chair off on the side, sitting beside the ball girl or the ball boy that runs out and shags the balls.
Yeah.
Ball. Strike two.
Yep.
He got him.
Yep.
You know, it's not going to be as animated because he's going to be watching. He's going to be like everybody else, just looking at a screen.
That's one of those jobs where technology is just it's gonna just be so much better that you can't keep it around. You know? We
I think
can't
so.
justify it for much longer, which sucks.
I think so. And you know, they could develop to where it's like sensors in the bag so that it can alert to the exact second in time that a finger touches it. If the finger or if the pressure ever came off of the bag, it could indicate that. Like they could put some pretty good sensors in like home plate and first, second, and third base and almost do away with that too. It would just be getting the tag.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing keeping umps in baseball is the tag. Because you can't get a robot to measure when a person touches another person.
That sucks. I'd be pissed. I would think that this kind of stuff would almost scare umpires a little bit into thinking, you know what, I better be on my game because if I keep fucking up and if my colleagues keep fucking up, they're just going to replace us. So maybe if we show them we can call the proper call, then they'll keep us around. But apparently not.
Baseball is going to end up like Westworld.
Right? Yeah, it'll just be
there'll be
robots out there,
robot umps, and when guys get pissed off at them, they'll just bash the shit out of them with a bat.
And that'll be the new thing. Like, oh man, you see Manny Machado go to town on that umpire, man. He really
that's how you'll get fucking ratings. Let them beat their shit out of a robot umpire, and then the next game they're just repaired and back to normal.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
this
umpire
is
672 is back in the game after.
This is $1 million idea.
If we're gonna do that, I'll agree to that. If we have to get rid of the human umpire, you better be able to beat the shit out of a robot.
Yep. That's what I want in the next players agreement, the contract that they sign and all that stuff. I want that to be in big bold letters at the very top.
You know how you can legally have a fight in hockey and they just stop and watch you until you fall down and then they separate you. If a player gets pissed off enough to beat the hell out of the umpire, we just sit back and wait till his bat breaks.
And then they just bring out a new umpire. They have a backup, but there has to be some kind of like penalty so that guys just don't do it because they fucking are crazy. Like if you beat up an ump, you're automatically suspended for 5 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you have to know going into it that if you do that, you're going to face some kind of, and every time you do it, it doubles or like they're increments. You know what I'm saying? That and they lose pay and shit like that. So you can't.
Well, then they won't do it as much. We kind of want them to do it a little bit, don't we?
We want them to do it a little bit, but we're also saying that if this is the case, that they're going to be wrong sometimes. Because why would you get pissed if the ump's always right? So
that's true.
We might have to rethink our strategy a little bit. Program them to not be right all the time.
Yeah. Put in a little bit of error on purpose.
I mean, slots machines are programmed to win every now and then, but not win a lot. So you can program them to call balls and strikes accurately a lot and bad every now and then.
Mhm.
Makes sense. Just kind of reverse slots machine it.
Yeah, I'm into that. And then when it's in a super important game and they just happen to roll on the wrong chance or whatever, and Mike Trout goes to town on umpire 672, then hey, that's our
I would fucking love it.
that's our Sports Center highlight for the night.
Well, Mike Trout suspended for the next 5 games because he beat up 672. 672 made a questionable call on this strike 3. Bob Uecker on the call, just a bit outside.
I'm all for it, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm down. I think this is a great idea.
If
That's-
MLB goes and steals this, you know where it
heard
came from.
first. You heard it here first.
Yep. We hardly get the credit that we deserve for the shit
Yeah,
that we
no, absolutely.
break.
Absolutely. Breaking news around here and nobody gives a fuck. I don't know. What else is going on though, dude? I'm about out of shit to talk about.
I think that about covers it.
Really? Wow. This feels like it was a fast episode.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they are.
Sometimes they are. I did have one serious thing that I wanted to mention. We don't really have to discuss. I just wanted to kind of to mention it that recently there was a super fan for the Buffalo Bills, and he went by Pancha Billa. He died after losing like a long battle with cancer or whatever. But his final wish was that he wanted to have money donated to a charity that he was supportive of locally, and it helped get book bags and school supplies for kids. And they ended up raising like well over $100,000 and had tons and tons of book bags and all that stuff. I read that and I thought it was cool that the Bills fans kind of rallied around this super fan and took care of their own kids there in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So if anybody's interested, that charity is called Teacher's Desk, and they can be found at Teacher's Desk Buff, BUF.
Nice.
Cool little thing they've got going on up there. So anyway, we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary show, so that's pretty awesome. We've got a few things starting to line up. We've got officially a store open now, so you can buy shirts, but we're going to be giving away some of those shirts as gifts. Now that we've officially launched the store, I can officially announce that we'll be giving away some shirts for gifts, giveaways and stuff like that on our 1-year anniversary show. We'll probably post like a 1 through 50, 1 through 100, something like that list, and have people just jot their names, take a spot, and then we'll just pick numbers randomly, and then we'll do all the legwork on the back end to get with those people to get them their prizes. But yeah, we'll come up with a cool little list of prizes. If anybody wants to donate prizes, we'll be happy to give those off too. That's cool. Help us out, help you out, get your name out there too. Other than that, see you back next week. Do you have anything planned for Monday?
No, I don't think we're gonna have a Monday episode this week.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, cool. See you back next Thursday, Friday-ish.